Hi everybody! Today we're going to be putting together something a little different than my previous videos. I want to put together a steelhead trout dinner. Very nice, light summer dinner and a little bit different than the other videos that I've done so far. I want to demonstrate to you how you take the skin off of fresh steelhead trout. Now I only use fresh, never frozen steelhead trout when I'm making trout. I'm going to demonstrate how to peel the skin back, so let's just start right there. I started this a little bit ago, so we'd have a little bit of an edge. So when you get your steelhead trout, it's going to look like this. And you're going to start at one corner of the heaviest part of the skin, which is usually the darker. And you're just going to start slicing and slicing gently, peeling the fillet away from the skin. And at some point you're going to be able to get in and just keep separating that heavy skin. You want to use a very nice sharp knife. Keep your hands free and clear of it. And every once in a while you can peel away some of that skin to give you a little bit of an edge. And then peel it off. But you don't want to break up that fillet. You want to keep that beautiful fillet because we're going to steam these in their own individual pouches. And we want a nice full big fillet for each person. And this is enough for two. These fillets are approximately a half a pound per person. It's going to shrink up a little bit when it cooks. So I wouldn't go much smaller than that. You can, but I wouldn't. In my house we always fought over the steelhead trout. So I would make sure you've got at least a half pound per person. And what we're going to put together, while I'm doing this I can explain the rest of the meal. We're going to have some steamed rice, and I just used a plain white rice. And what I steamed it in was a cup of chicken stock from my freezer. When I poach a chicken, or if I get a rotisserie chicken, I drain off all the juice. I take all the carcass that's left, and I boil that on the stove until I've got a good 2.5, 3 cups of stock. Okay, so here is the whole skin off of the trout. And I keep a bag close by, never near my food, for the skins and for any garbage instead of a garbage bowl. I know some cooks, even some famous ones, like to work with a garbage bowl right on the countertop. I'm not real comfortable with that. I don't want to look at garbage while I'm cutting food and while I'm preparing food. So I like to hang a bag behind me on a cabinet door handle, and that keeps everything separate. And what I like to do is I like to either use the barbecue grill if possible. Today it's not possible because it's very windy out, very sunny, but it's very windy, and I don't want to fight the wind while I'm trying to speak to you. So there's many ways to be able to do it. Some people like to just poach it in some broth on the stove. I myself am a very big fan of parchment and foil, and I like to let it steam in its own juices with some of these other beautiful additives I will show you in a second. So we're just about there. Little tedious, but I didn't want to do this ahead and not be able to explain to you how to do it if you've never done that. Otherwise I would have had it all prepared for you. So I apologize for you having to endure all that, but I'm happy you did get to see it. So here we are with our beautiful fillets. Very first thing you want to do is you want to take your salt, and I do a nice fine crystal sea salt for this. And you want to really saturate this fillet so it has a lot of flavor. Okay, Next, I've prepared a bunch of different spices that I like to use with this. I have here some dill. It's about a teaspoon. And you want to generously cover both fillets with your dill. Okay, there's that. Next, I have a mixture of garlic and Old Bay and celery seed. Same, goes over both fillets. And you can be selective here with, what works with your taste. What do you like on your seafood as far as seasonings? There's nothing saying it has to be what I've just displayed. I like dill, salt and pepper, Old Bay, and a few pepper flakes. Just a few, just to give it a slight kick. You don't want it overpowering because this is a delicate, beautiful tasting fish all on his own. But I still like to put a good heaping amount of pepper on there. So your next thing is you're going to take a really nice, very yellow skinned lemon. You don't want any green to it. You want it good and yellow. And make sure it's scrubbed up really well. Okay? And I just roll it to release and break up the juices. And it's going to be a little bit softer. So before you cut into that and get that juice, you want to get some zest. And when I say zest, you're going to use a microplaner, just like this, cheese grater for some people. And you're going to go just until you start to see the white pith. The white pith is very bitter. You don't want to get that on your fish. You stop when you see the white pith starting. It smells so fresh and beautiful. That nice, clean citrus smell. Okay, so you take all of your zest out, apply it to your fish, then you can clean, sharp paring knife, not the one you used on your fish, and make sure all of the seeds are removed. And this is a beautiful one with very few seeds. And the easiest way to do this is, rather than go around and squeeze like a maniac, I like to put a fork in and just twist, and you'll get as much juice as possible. You've loosened up all of that juice by rolling it on the counter. So your very first thing you're going to do in this cooking process is you're going to take a piece of parchment, a piece of foil, put the parchment on top of the foil, take your beautiful steelhead trout fillet, place it right on the parchment. You take one of the lemon halves, wait till you're on the parchment for this so you don't waste it all on the plate. You want it to stay into your pouch. Look at all the juice you get. Beautiful. That is going to keep your fish tender and extremely flavorful. There's one. Okay. Make sure it's distributed properly. And you're going to envelope this corner to corner to corner to corner. Make sure it fits into your foil pouch. Take a half up. Take your vertical sides. And we'll do it again over here so you can see that again. Then take your other big half up and make sure you tuck it under the foil. You want a good, tight pouch. Set that one aside and we'll do that again. Okay, so you've got your parchment on top of your foil. You're going to take your beautiful fillet, set it on top of your parchment. And we do have some lemon left in this one, so I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to grab this first. Save these. I'll show you what to do with these after we're done. The used up lemon. Oh my goodness, this is a beautifully juicy lemon. Just beautiful. Don't usually get that much juice from my lemon. So that's wonderful. Okay, so next I'm going to grab just a little bit more salt on this one because I missed a little bit on this end that was underneath the other fillet. Tad bit more Old Bay and garlic. And you, like I said, you can change that up. You can make that garlic and onion powder and celery seed, or oregano or thyme would be beautiful. A little coriander is in there as well. I really like the fresh citrusy taste of ground coriander. And you put that right into your mix too. Have a bunch of cups together so you're not constantly going to find different things. This is how I line up all my spices. So it's all done before I even get started with my fillet. So here we go one more time for you to see how we wrap these pouches before they go on the pan. So we're going to take one end, corner to corner with the parchment, corner to corner with the parchment, just loosely, but at least it's together. You take one end up from the foil, put it in place, take your sides, fold those in like an envelope, just like a little book, and keep these 2 points up because you're going to take this end and bring it in and tuck it under before it goes into your steamer. And I'm going to show you how we do this. Let me get all of this out of the way. Okay, so I have a very heavy skillet griddle, and this is what I like to use for this, for all of my steamed fish or chicken inside when I'm not out on the grill. So you place these on top. I'm going to heat this up so it's screaming hot. You want this really screaming hot. Get it on the stove, and then you're going to place your fillets, whichever way they fit best. You get them in there, and that's how they'll cook. You're going to put a large lid on top so the steam stays in until you open that pouch and you see that your steelhead trout is starting to get a bit opaque. Okay? We will open these beauties up and we will plate our white steamed rice in chicken stock and long green string beans from the farmer's market and our fresh, never frozen steelhead trout. I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Hi. Okay, so our beautiful steelhead trout dinner is ready to be served. I'm going to bring over a pouch at a time and unwrap it and show you how to plate this very easily. We've got steamed white rice in chicken stock. We've got fresh green string beans from the farmer's market. And we got this beautiful steelhead trout. It's going to be a beautiful, nice, light summer dinner. Our first pouch off of the griddle. Peel the parchment back. It's steamed in all of its juices, all of that beautiful lemon juice, all of that beautiful juice from the fillet, and we're not going to waste any of it. So you're going to slip your spatula, metal spatula I would recommend, underneath the fillet, place it on your plate, set a few strips of fresh basil from my dear good friend Matt, from his garden. I don't waste a bit of that goodness. Take your pouch right into your garbage bag that you hang to collect, and you take the next and you do the same. If you take a look at your pan, there's not a drop of anything on your pan. It just served the purpose as a heavy cast iron griddled pan for you. So, I'm going to let this fish set just a second while I get you the rest of the dinner. And remember, in the first segment, I told you don't throw away those lemon hunks that you worked with, because I'm going to show you a little trick There's your few pieces of basil. Dress that gorgeous fillet. Grab all of that juice goodness. All your seasonings, all that lemon juice is right there to have with your meal. And that's a throwaway. Next, I wish you could smell this. It just smells so beautiful. The citrus and the trout is such a beautiful fragrance. Now, I know in other videos you've probably seen me. I use ice cream scoop for many things. This is the size that I like to use for serving rice or quinoa or couscous. It just looks great on the plate. Whether you're having company or not, dress your plate for yourself. It doesn't matter if it's not for company. Drop a beautiful softball size portion of rice, or if you're like my husband, he needs 2 softball sizes of rice. Save the rest for another meal. Put it aside. Your next is your beautiful Farmer's Market green string beans. Are those not gorgeous? Steam those in just a little bit of chicken broth and a very little bit of butter. We eat with our eyes, so why not satisfy our eyes and give it something beautiful to be hungry about? Okay, you got extra here as well. Okay, so here's that lemon wedge. As I said, you save one side, bring your planer, grater back, take just a tiny bit of the zest and go over your whole meal just to keep a little extra citrus in the game. And you're still not done. There's still something you can do. You can utilize this lemon in so many ways. Take what's left here, cut a small wedge, a couple of them. I keep them in a Ziploc bag in the bottom of my fridge drawer, in the fruit drawer, and I take one at a time. I put them in my garbage disposal, a couple hunks of ice, and run the blades. Why not utilize what you've already used? You paid for the whole lemon. Why not do everything you can with it? So, would you please remember to give me a big thumbs up on the like button and share my video and subscribe if you haven't yet. Also, I'm more than happy to provide you with any of the videos that you see a written recipe by writing to my email, familyeats5967@gmail.com. So there you have it, a beautiful steelhead trout fresh meal, and we have also prepared a beautiful light summer dessert of strawberry shortcake. Until the next video, you have a great day. Be well. Bye.